water. So, please put Jai Radha Madhav. Yes. Welcome all of you on studio devotees and also office studio if somebody is watching. You are from East Coast, right? You are from Dallas? You are Vaisheshika Prabhu's disciple, right? Yes, yes. Nice to see you here. What's your name, Prabhu? Naimi Sharana Prabhu. Yes, Haribol. Yeah. I know your Karmi name, Nimish something, right? Nikhil, sorry, yeah. And what's your name, Prabhu? Vedanta Sutradas. You are visiting from? UK, Haribol. Oh, Hari. Ah, nice. So, my name is Koladwipa Prana Prabhu. So, I'm just, like conducting the discussion because it's an interactive thing. Like, I'm not giving any class kind of thing. Yeah. You all are here, so you can help me. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare. Oh, let's read the translation. Krishna is the lover of Srimati Radharani. He displays many amorous pastimes in the groves of Vrindavan. He is the lover of the cowherd maidens of Braja and the holder of the great hill named Govardhan and the beloved son of Mother Yasoda. He delights the inhabitants of Braja and wanders in the forest along the banks of the river Yamuna. Hari Bol. The best part of this bhajan is like everything is related to Shri Vrindavan Dham and Krishna and his eternal associates. Excellent. Yeah. Jayang Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Krishna Kripa Simurti Srila Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Beviti Sangsthapak Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jayang Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Krishna Kripa Simurti Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Gadi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय, श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, श्री गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय, श्री भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी वृंदा देवी की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री राधा मदन मोहन श्रीमन महाप्रभु श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय. All grace to the assembled devotees, all grace to the assembled devotees, all grace to the assembled devotees, all grace to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all grace to Srila Prabhupada. Let me open the verse, actually we're gonna read. Oh, you can go to the Canto 8, Chapter 8, and I will tell you the verse to read. Yeah, so you can put the verse number 20. So here will be, the topic of discussion for today's class is the churning of the milk ocean. It's described in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 8 we will be reading. And that, the context of this verse is like this, like when they were churning the ocean, different items came out of the ocean. From the womb of the ocean, you can say, and Mother Lakshmi also came out from it. And when Mother Lakshmi came out, she was examining different personalities present at that time. And actually, all the exalted, strengthful, knowledgeable persons like saints, demigods, all the prime demigods like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Indra, and other, and also like powerful demons, all yakshas, gandharvas, everyone were present at that time in the scene. So she was examining everyone, and this is a good learning from us, like how to identify the Supreme Personality of Godhead among so many personalities. So verse number 20, right? Yeah. Nunam tapayasya namanyo nirjayo, Nunam tapayasya namanyo nirjayo, Jnanam kachitachana sanga varjitam, Jnanam kachit kashin mahamstasya na kama nirjayaha, Svaishvara kim parata vyapashrayaha, Nunam tapayasya namanyo nirjayo, Jnanam kachitachana nasangam varjitam, Tachana sanga varjitam, Kasvin mahamstasya nakama nirjayaha, Svaishvara kim parata vyapashrayaha. Everybody wants to read? Nunam tapa yasya namanyo nirjaya, Jnanam kachitachana sanga varjitam, Kashin mahamstasya nakama nirjayaha, Svavishvara kim parata vyapashrayaha. Numan tapayasya namanyo nirjaya, Jnanam kachitachana sanga varjitam, Kashin mahamstasya nakama nirjayaha Swayeshwara kim parata vyapasyayaha. Nunam tapayasya namanyo nirjayo
Jnanam kvachit tachana sangavarjitam.
Jnanam kachit tachana sangavarjitam
Kaschin mahamstasya nakama nirjayaha.
Kasin mahamstasya nakama nirjaya
Sa ishvara kim parato vyapashrayaha.
Swayeshwara kim parata vyapasyayaha. Nunam, certainly, tapaha, austerity, yasya, of someone, na, not, manyu, anger, nirjayaha, conquered, jnanam, knowledge, kachit, in some saintly person, tat, that, cha, also, no, not, sangavarjitam, without the contamination of association, kaschit, someone, mahan, a very great exalted person, tasya, his, no, not, kama, material desires, nirjayaha, conquered, sa, such a person, Ishvara, controller, kim, how can he be, parataha, of others, vyapashrayaha, under the control. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The goddess of fortune, examining the assembly, thought in this way: someone who has undergone great austerity has not yet conquered anger. Someone possesses knowledge, but he has not conquered material desires. Someone is a very great personality, but he cannot conquer lusty desires. Even a great personality depends on something else. How then can he be the supreme controller? Purport: here is an attempt to find the supreme controller or Ishvara. Everyone may be accepted as an Ishvara or controller, but still such controllers are controlled by others. For example, one may have undergone severe austerities, but still be under the control of anger. By scrutinizing analysis, we find that everyone is controlled by something else. No one therefore can be the true controller but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. This is supported by the Shastras. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna, the Supreme Controller is Krishna. Krishna is never controlled by anyone, for he is the controller of everyone. Sarva Karana Karanam. Actually, we can read the next verse also. This is also in context of this one. Next verse, Prabhu. Dharma kachit tatra na bhuta shauridam Tyaga kachit tatra na mukti karanam Viryam napumsasti ajaveka nishkritam Nahi ditya guna sangavarjitaha. Translation: someone may possess all full knowledge of religion but still not be kind to all living entities. In someone, whether human or demigod, there may be renunciation, but that is not the cause of liberation. Someone may possess great power and yet be unable to check the power of eternal time. Someone else may have renounced attachment to the material world, yet he cannot compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, no one is completely freed from the influence of the material modes of nature. Purport: the statement Dharma kachit tatra na bhuta sauridam is very important in this verse. We actually see that there are many Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, and religionists of other cults who adhere to their religious principles very nicely but are not equal to all living entities. Indeed, although they profess to be very religious, they kill poor animals. Such religion has no meaning. Srimad Bhagavatam 1-8 says, Dharma shanishtita pumsa vishvakshena kathashu ya no utpalayad yadiratim srama eva hikevalam. One may be very expert in following the religious principles of his own sect, but if he has no tendency to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his observance of religious principles is simply a waste of time. One must develop a sense of loving Vasudeva. Vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlava. The sign of a devotee is that he is a friend to everyone. Suridam sarva bhutanam. A devotee will never allow a poor animal to be killed in the name of religion. This is the difference between a superficially religious person and a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We find that there have been many great heroes in history, but they could not escape from the cruel hands of death. Even the greatest hero cannot escape from the ruling power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead when Krishna comes as death. That is described by Krishna himself. Mrityu sarva harasyaham, the Lord appearing as death, takes away a hero's so-called power. Even Hiranyakashipu could not be saved when Nrsimhadeva appeared before him as death. One's material strength is nothing before the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, actually we can read next verse also, Prabhu. Only translation I'll read. Someone may have longevity but not have auspiciousness or good behavior. Someone may have both auspiciousness and good behavior, but the duration of his life is not fixed. Although such demigods as Lord Shiva have eternal life, they have inauspicious habits like living in crematoriums. And even if others are well qualified in all respects, they are not devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. So we can put on the Mangalacharan, then we can have some discussion. Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayang Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandehaham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanyitham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhannitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatirubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Nama Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam Pangam lam gayate girim yat kipa tamaham bande Shri Guru dino taranam Paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Isharam. Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees once again. So, as we have read some verses from the Chanting of the Bell question, so the point is here I want to discuss is like, how to identify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here different qualities are spoken, examined by Mother Lakshmi. When she came out of the womb of the ocean, she saw different personalities standing. And among them, she actually observed different qualities. Like some were very full of strength, but they were not beautiful. Some were very beautiful, but they are not, they don't have chivalrous aspects. Some are very knowledgeable, not renunciate. Some are very renunciate, but not very clean. So there are different aspects she identified, and she was looking for the best person to get married, because it said like when she came out, then Lord Indra, she gave her a very nice seat, and lot of things were offered to him. Like she was given a special bath with all kind of panchagavya, panchamrit, and different ingredients. And she was kind of worshipped also, and everybody liked her as soon as she appeared, as she's being the mother of the whole universe. Anyways, so she observed even the great personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and she found they are also not all powerful. But then only after through Sayambara process, she garlanded Lord Mukunda, Lord Vishnu, as her husband, and Lord Vishnu gave her a place in his heart. She is residing always in the heart of the Vishnu. So we have to be also careful to identify who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Parashar Mani in his commentary he spoke, there are 6 qualities of Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is also somehow in some extent is present in us. Can anyone tell the 6 qualities? I know Prabhu can tell. Yes, you can take the mic, Prabhu, because then the devotees who are watching online, they can also listen.
So power, beauty, strength, knowledge. Renunciation.
One more.
Opulence.
Yes, Aishwarya. Yeah, so these are in Sanskrit term Aishwarya, Birya, Yash, Sri, Gyan, and Vairagya. So Aishwarya is the opulence, then Birya is the strength, Yash means fame, and Yash, Sri means beauty, Gyan means knowledge, and Vairagya and renunciation. So Krishna possesses all these 6 qualities in full extent. That's why he is the Supreme Personality of God. It's Sarva Karana Kanaram, and he doesn't have any beginning and end. So if somebody tells he is an avatar, he is an incarnation, so we should ask questions. Some questions where in the Shastra it says he will appear. When Lord appears, it's not a whimsical thing. It will be forecasted in the Shastra, it will be told he will have this kind of feature. Even his parents' name will be also written in the Shastras, that he will appear in that particular parentage, in particular village, in particular time. And also he will have some bodily feature, internally these qualities you always cannot experience, especially those people who are gross materialists, they cannot appreciate even the godly qualities. So, but externally also Lord has a special bodily feature. That is a Shastra called Samudra Shastra. It actually describes different physical aspects of a superhuman, who is very endowed with different qualities, how to identify by looking at him externally. So it says he will have a different, a special body where it's called Nagrat Parimandal, his chest will be his 1 hand length, and his whole body will be 3.5 hand length of the exact of his chest size. And his hand will go down his knees. He has a special 3 mark on his neck, and his 5 limbs will be reddish. 3 limbs will be short, and he has 8 limbs will be like long. Like these things are like, explained. So there are 36 as a whole. So if you see like Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has all these 36 qualities. So as we say, like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Radha and Krishna together. So when his grandfather Nilamba Chakravarti, after his appearance, he was calculating the astrologic chart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He found like he was astounded actually. He found like it is overwhelming. He saw it like to Sachimata that only Lord Narayan had this kind of chart. So I'm really like perplexed, and all kind of bodily features mentioned in these shastras. And he was a Pandit, Nilamba Chakravarti. He could see that all kind of bodily features are present in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was like when he observed him carefully. So when somebody comes and proclaims that I am he's God, so one thing we should ask Srila Prabhupada also told, like can he show us the Vishwarupa? Or has he ever shown the supreme absolute form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And also another thing is like some yogis are very powerful. They can actually do a lot of things, right? There are different Ashtasiddhis, Anima, Mahima, Laghima, Prakamya, Kamba, Shita, Ishita, Vashita, Prapti. So some can actually control you also, your consciousness also. They are so powerful that they can subtly control your consciousness. And you can give up your normal logical approach to identify the truth. So in that way, sometimes you may be misguided. That's why you need to actually find proper guidance to identify who are like imposter and who are like real personalities. And through their knowledge, through their association, you can identify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because we cannot identify Supreme Personality of Godhead through our senses, right? Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahayam indriya shevan mukha hi jivadau sayameva spruta ada. That means you cannot identify the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his, you cannot appreciate his names and his forms through your senses. But only when you chant the holy name and you take Krishna Prasad and also hear about him in the association of pure devotees, then you will have that understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why the process of hearing is very important. But we don't have that vision to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyways, so Mother Lakshmi, being the mother of the universe, she could identify like who is actually the supreme among all these present here. And she actually then got married to Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu in that way. So the churning of the ocean of milk, this is a very good topic to discuss. Like this actually brings out a lot of topics we have read in Dvaibhashu Sampada Yoga, like the divine and the demoniac natures. In the 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, right? Like, what are the qualities of the demons? What are the qualities of the demigods? Those are discussed there, right? So, like this story in Srimad Bhagavatam comes after the story of Gajendra Maksham. So when Shukadeva Goswami described the pastimes of Gajendra Maksham to Parikshit Maharaj, then Parikshit Maharaj was interested to know about the Manantar, different Manantars, what are the activities happened in different Manantar. And actually one of the subject matters of Bhagavatam is Manyantars, like discussing the activities of the. So previously he discussed about the activities of Swayambhu Manu and his descendants, and then in this he actually touched a little bit about different Manus like Revata, Tamasa, Chakshusha. And in this Manantar, I think this is Chakshusha Manantar, let me see it. Yeah, the sixth Manu, Chakshusha. In Chakshusha Manantar, Lord Vishnu appeared as an incarnation named Ajita. And during the churning of the ocean of milk, he was present. So we'll come to this point. So the first thing he was telling, once during the Chakshusha Manantara, the Indra, there is a specific person. Where I have put my paper. I think I got it. Yeah. Anyway, so the Indra at that time, he was very like he became a little bit puffed up of his opulence, and this naturally happens. That's why it says like in the Shastra that four things are very dangerous, like dhan, gyan, aishwarya. Like dhan is actually comes in the form of the aishwarya, gun, like qualities, and also kul means like your family lineage, caste, So these four things actually contaminates your consciousness. What is the verse in Kunti Maharani's prayer? Janmaishya Suti Srivir Edamanada Naivartaho api Abhidhatum Tam Akinchana Gocharam. So Janma Aishwarya Sri Gyan, this thing cannot give the understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Dam Akinchana Gocharam. You cannot be understood, like he is telling to Lord Krishna that you cannot be understood by one who has these things. Only the pure devotees can understand. So when somebody gets this thing, he can be puffed up. And he gets puffed up usually if he is not in touch with the pure devotees, and also his consciousness is not pure. If his consciousness is like, I have to enjoy, I am enjoying, I am something. And we saw this, like King Indra being the king of the demigods, he got bewildered, right? He thought Krishna as an ordinary boy, even though he was a devotee, but his consciousness got bewildered because he was enjoying in an atmosphere where that subtle consciousness could not stand for long. But he came into senses after a while when he was punished, or he was given the lesson by Lord. Anyways, so these things sometimes can be a hindrance to your progress. But if you engage them in service of Krishna, like we saw in last Ekadasi day, we were discussing about Srila Sanatana Goswami. And we saw that, how Sanatana Goswami, even though he was very opulent, he was using his resources, his opulences in service of Lord and his devotees, creating temple, serving the devotees, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam in the presence of pure Vaishnava Brahmins. So this is okay. If you are given an opulence, use it in Krishna's service. Even in our movement we see some of the devotees like Ambarish Prabhu, they have given so many to the movement, even though they are very rich, but in personal life they maintain a very sober lifestyle. You cannot identify that he is such a rich person by looking at him externally, for sure. At least I could not do it. So they are so humble in disposition and so down to earth, and they are giving everything for the service of the Guru and Krishna. So, but when you are enjoying yourself, so what happened actually, some or other, Durvasha Muni was passing by heavenly planets one time, and King Indra was riding his horse, elephant, Airavat. And he was having a garland from Vaikuntha. So he got that garland from Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. So when he saw Indra, he felt a little bit compassionate. He felt like, I should give him some, mercy, a special mercy. Because saints are relatively compassionate to all the living souls. So he gave that garland to King Indra. So King Indra wore it for some time, and after a while, he put it on the head of Airavat, because he was very fond of Airavat. And Airavat, he couldn't understand the supremacy of Lord's garland. He didn't have that idea. So what he did, he actually crashed. He actually took it from his head and he put it down, and then he crashed with his legs. And Durvasa Muni couldn't like it, but he just gently laughed. He could understand this. This pride is the sign before distraction. So that is not many years to come when he will fall down. So in course of time, then Lord Indra, he lost all of his opulences, all power. And eventually all the demigods were bereft of, opulence, power, everything. And at that time, the demons, they actually attacked them. And they occupied the heavenly planets. And literally, they became homeless. The demigods became homeless. And they fled here and there. And they were suffering terribly. So when you go through tribulations, when you go through suffering in your life, what happens? You actually pray, right? Your prayer becomes more fervent, sincere. And you take shelter of, wise persons, knowledge person, like how I should actually pray, how I should approach the Lord, the way He can listen to me. It happens to us every time, right? We go through some, hard patch in our life, and we approach some saintly persons. And if we are really fortunate, we can come across like personality like Srila Prabhupada, because a lot of people, they are in hippie life. They are trying to enjoy the life in a different manner than the general populace. And then they found Srila Prabhupada, and in his association they found like, this is a wise person, saint person, let us follow him. And they started following him, and now you can see like, so many acharyas evolved in our sampradaya by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So, these demigods also thought like we should take shelter of someone who knows how to, approach the Lord, how to pray to Him, and how to satisfy Him through our service. And actually it is said like, when you go through tribulations, you become humble, and then mercy also starts flowing. Because when you are up, your self-ego is very high, you are very proud of yourself, then the mercy cannot reach you, because mercy flows downwards. Like, the water flows downwards. Similarly, the mercy also flows downwards. So, if you are very puffed up, Krishna will say, okay, you are very, enjoying your life, you are good. What need is there for my mercy? You are already enjoying everything you need. And also, we don't think of Krishna at that time. It's very difficult to think of Krishna at the time of pleasure. Actually, our practice should be that. Anyways, so they also started getting mercy. So they approach with their, they are intelligent people, like demigods are very intelligent. So they approach Lord Brahma, because they know that Lord Brahma, being the creator of the universe, and being the direct disciple of the Supreme Lord, He can impart us or give us a direction, good direction. And when they approached Lord Brahma thought some time, and then he told, okay, we should all go together to Lord Vishnu and satisfy him with our prayers. So they went to Shvetadipa, where Lord Vishnu is eternally residing, and they prayed to Lord, and they have very nicely, poetically they glorified the Lord. In fact, it is said in the purport, and Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, and even the Lord Brahma came out of the navel, lotus which is stemmed from the navel of Lord Vishnu, he could not see him, because his bodily effulgence was so bright, he could not see the Lord's face. But he heard, and by hearing Lord, he could understand everything. So hearing is so potent, right? We will be discussing some pastimes of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the later half of this class. He also, one of his lectures, he was telling in Vrindavan Dham that you should hear, you should see Lord with your ear. Right, Prabhu? You cannot see Lord through your eyes. You cannot. How can you appreciate Lord's beauty if you don't know how beautiful He is? It will not manifest in your heart. One thing is like it can manifest if you associate with pure devotees and if your sadhana is very strong. But in neophyte stage, you should dedicate yourself more in hearing. Like you should take all the opportunities you get for hearing. All the time you get, if you all the free time, you should spend in hearing the glories of the Lord. Only then you will feel or you can connect with Him. Understanding it comes with time. It's not a sudden process that today I start hearing and tomorrow I will be like Bhagavat. It's not like that. It takes time. It takes definitely some time to chant purely, to understand Lord's glories to some extent, so that you can have that ecstatic symptom. Anyway, so they were so Lord Brahma was praying that Lord, please appear before us and give us some direction, because we are in tribulations, we are in sufferings, and that these demigods, they need your help to get rid of this suffering. And the Lord was very pleased with their prayers, which He usually, is, because He always compassionate, more compassionate to the devotees. Even though Lord is Nirapeksha, but still he is Bhakti Vadyam, right? If somebody is rendering devotional service, he can be captured by the devotional service. So when the demigods, they plead in front of him, he appeared, and at first they could not see him. His effulgence was so strong. And then first Lord Brahma saw him, and then eventually the other demigods also could see him. And then the Lord told him, like, excuse me, you are in a difficult stage right now. You have to make a truce with the demons. So here actually, it is also a great lesson for us. Sometimes, for our survival, we need to make truce with even the demons. But we should not take their culture. We should not take their mood. We should not take their, activities, actions, what they are performing. We should not follow that. We should be devotee, but maybe we need to make truce to live in a peaceful manner. Like if you are in a country where demoniac cultures are prevalent, you cannot just say like, okay, I will establish my own rules over here. I will just do whatever whimsically I like. Whatever in the Shastra says, for them, the people who are in demoniac nature, that is a whim, right? That may appear to them it's not practical. But we know that that is the practical thing. But so it is very difficult sometimes to implement like the Shastric injunction also. So we may need to stay with the demoniac nature people to keep our existence, to keep our yes, Prabhu.
I think here Lord says you should use a Sarp Mushak Nyaya.
Ahimushak Nyaya, we'll discuss about it, Ahimushak Nyaya. So the Lord says like, Ahimushak Nyaya means like, that rat and snake logic. So what rat and snake logic says, that in a basket, somehow or other, one snake and rat were captured together. They are staying in the basket. And then the snake was thinking, like, if I eat the rat right now, then I will have my meal one time, but when I cannot get out of the basket, I will be killed later on, my life will be gone. But if I somehow make a truce with this rat and convince him that, you make a hole out of the basket, and then we can go both out, and then I can see what I can do with the rat. So he convinced the rat, okay, we are both in a dire situation, so you make a hole, we both can get out. And then the rat made a hole, and the snake and rat both went out, and the snake killed the rat. Like, I think it's before he went out, he just killed the rat and went out of there. As soon as he got the hole, he was convinced that this is good time to kill the rat. So that is Lord's own word. Like he told, like you should apply the ahimushik now. As you are now weak, you don't have any opulence, you don't have any power to fight against the demon. So you should be shrewd, intelligent, and you should listen what they say. Actually, he said like you should approach the demons, make a truce, and tell them that we should churn the ocean of milk. Then a lot of things will come out, and we can share among us. And then Lord told like there will be a lot of things will come out while churning the ocean of milk, but your focus should be Amrit, nectar, which will come at the very last moment. Don't be beguiled, don't be infused by the attraction to other things. That will let them take whatever they want. Don't even fight against them. Then once you get nectar, then you will focus, or you should try to get it, take the nectar, and then you will be inconceivable. Inconquerable. Like nobody can defeat you. You will be also, your life longevity will increase. Anyways, so Lord is saying that. But in practical sense also, we should also apply the ahimushikna. Like we should not actually kill, but we should exist in a way so that even the demoniac nature people, we should not just go and reject everything, the social law or the country's law. we should abide by that. Maybe it's not according to the injunction of the Shastras, but for the peaceful coexistence, we sometimes have to accept it. So some people can say that, why Lord being so political, like why he is advising something which is not straightforward. Like you do something good and you get a good result, but now you are doing something out of selfish interest, like you are making a false truce. So in the Shastra it is also mentioned, like there are three kinds of nyaya. Nyaya means like what is nyaya in the English? Laws, law. Law is I think. Logic is yukti, right? Logic, logic also can be said here, correct. So in the Nyaya Shastra it says like there are three kind of nyaya of making or endeavoring to get something. There are three kind of approach. One is Brihaspati Nyaya. So in Brihaspati Nyaya it is said like your mean, like the way you get something, and the result or the desire, ultimate desire, both are of highest quality. So you will always approach a very high quality approach where everybody will praise you or glorify you because of your approach, that you are so pious. And also the the result, which is your sadhya, that will also be very highest quality. Like you are doing it for good of others, or for the welfare of the society or country, or for devotional progress, like that. So Yudhishthir Maharaj was like that. Only one time he made some mistake, right? Ashattama Hatha Iti Gaja, like during the Kurukshetra war, and that also because he was insisted by Lord Krishna that you have to tell it to win this war. Dronacharya was convinced by that. His point he just said the truth, but the intention was not here. He knew that
his intention was to tell the truth. But Lord Krishna knew his intention.
So Ashattama Hatha Iti Gaja. That Iti Gaja was a little bit, and also when Dronacharya heard Ashattama Hatha, he could not actually put attention to the latter part also, because he thought this is son. Anyways, the point is like Asatama being an elephant is not a significant personality which has to be announced to Dronacharya. So there is a different mean, right? Like it's not a straightforward. Anyways, but Yudhishthira was all along. If you see in Mahabharata, he was a pure personality, always following the rules and regulations mentioned in the Shastra. On the other hand, there is a nyaya called Khanik Nyaya, where you can do anything to get anything you desire. So there is no restriction in the mean, like the way you get something like sadhan, and then there is no restriction in sadhya, your goal, desire. So you can aspire for anything you desire, for your gratify your own sense, and you can take any mean, khanik, Any personality you can think of who actually had Ravan? To some extent, Sadhana was not bad, right? His sadhana was not bad, always. Only one time he, only abducting Sita Maya. But Duryodhana, if you think, all the time he had, different intention. He never did anything straightforward. Some political duplicity, Kutinati was always there. All throughout Mahabharata we saw how he devised different plans to, harass, kill Pandavas and, usurp their kingdom. Then in between these two, there is a law called Shukra Nyaya. In Shukra Nyaya, the end result, the end goal is highest, pure. But maybe the means is not pure. And we saw in Kurukshetra where Lord Krishna adopted Shukra Nyaya. He actually killed all the big Maharathis of Kauravas through Shukra Nyaya only, right? Bhishmadev, even though he was not killed, but the mean, a person who is bereft of his weapons, he cannot be shot. Dronacharya, he was also bereft of his weapon. He actually gave up all of things. Karna, he was out of his chariot. All these big Maharathis are killed by that mean. Even Duryodhana himself, right? He was hit under the belly, under the navel. It's not the rule to hit. Yeah, no, but Meghnad was killed in a straightforward battle. But yeah, his Nikumbila Jagga was not they did not allow him to do that special yagya he used to perform before his fight. But he was killed in a straightforward battle, Prabhu. And in fact, his mean was not correct. He was, throwing arrow from behind the cloud. It's not a good mean. You should fight. And he was taking shelter of illusion, Maya. This is not a Kshatriya will not do it. This Maya is like only Mayavi, Rakshasas, demons. They will show this kind of feature. Kshatriyas, they will fight front face to face. And if they die, okay, I will go to heavenly planets. If I get, if I win, then I will enjoy the kingdom. That's fine. Yeah, but these Rakshasas, they have different means to achieve the goals. Anyways, so Lord Krishna actually he actually applied Shukrana in this case. So okay, your goal is to get the nectar, make a truce with them. Don't think about like you are making a truce with demon. Sometimes we need to make a truce with demon for our existence. Yeah. So then King Indra, he approached Bali Maharaj according to the instruction. Oh, and Lord told I will help you personally, don't worry. When you will churn ocean of milk, I will be there in all kind of, activities. Hare Krishna, welcome. So Bali Maharaj, King Indra, he went to Bali Maharaj's place, and as soon as he approached with other demigods, some demons were disturbed. They were like, our enemy has come to our place, should we attack him? Then Bali Maharaj actually consulted, no. They have come as a guest of ours and we should honor them. And that is also the Vedic culture. Even though someone is fighting against you, as soon as the fight is over, you can sit together, you can eat together. In the Mahabharata war, we saw that, that devotees, like the two parties, they used to talk with each other, they used to actually share different aspects. Even when the big fighters were killed, they used to even give respect to, both parties used to give respect to that personality, right? We saw that. So this is the custom. So you just respect, follow the rules and regulations, and also respect the personality. Not that, on personal level you have enmity, you just, always be like envious against that person. It actually contaminates our heart. So Bali Maharaj, being, knower of the religion, he welcomed King Indra. And then King Indra actually put his supplication that, we should make a truce and we should churn the ocean of milk. Then we'll get a lot of, special things, and ultimately we'll get nectar and we can share between us. Yeah, this special nectar which will enhance our longevity. Anyways, so Bali Maharaj was very diplomatic and also very intelligent also. He understood that, this is not a job of only demons. Demon cannot do it by themselves. So we need help of demigods, and together we need to make a plan. And then actually Lord Vishnu instructed them, you take Mandara Parvat as the churning rod and Bahasuki Nag as the churning rope. And then both demon and demigod churn the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. You put, different ingredients, different trees, different herbs, different medicines, different, ingredients of the earthly planet inside the ocean, and then churn. And then ultimately different ingredients will come out. And the first the thing will come out is the poison named Kalakuta or Halahal. So it can destroy the whole universe, but don't worry, I will take care of it. So then demigods and demons all together, they went to take Mandara Parvat. And Mandara Parvat was huge, very heavy. I think it was 80,000 miles, something like this, like a square mile, something like that, and made of gold. So usually gold, in density, what is the density? The volume. same volume weight of gold is higher than the stone. So the Mandara Parvat was very, very heavy. Like it's not even like compared to the mountains we can see like at this time, like which are made of stone. It was made of gold, so it was more heavier. So they went to take that, and when they were getting it to the shore of ocean, it was so heavy that they could not take it anymore, and some of the like they put it down, and some of the demons and demigods were killed underneath. And then the demon and demigods both, especially the demigods, they prayed to Lord, like, what to do now. We cannot actually take it to the middle of ocean, and we are actually now so fatigued, so lack of energy that we cannot do it. So then Lord, he appeared in Vishnu form, and he actually through his glance he enlivened all the dead, injured demigods and demons, and they came into like their full energy. And he took the Mandara Parvat in his one hand and put it on the flank, one wing of Garura, and in other wing he carried all the demons and demigods together, and he took them in the middle of the ocean, and they poured all the ingredients that was instructed by Lord to put inside the ocean to churn it, and they put it. And then the second difficulty arose, how they will put that rod inside the ocean and churn it, because when they put it, it will go down, right? Because the ocean cannot hold it, even though it is a milk ocean, but still the density of gold is much higher than milk. So they took it there inside, and they were in the dilemma. Then Lord, he appeared as Kurma. Actually, they started churning. Like when Lord put that rod in, like the Mandara mountain, inside the ocean, and he asked Garura to go away, because if Garura is present, Vasuki cannot come, because Garura eats snakes, right? He's not a vegetarian, but he's the pure devotee of Lord. And when he left, then Vasuki came, and Vasuki, he was desirous of getting some nectar, so he, gave himself. Okay, use myself, and it was quite a job, because Vasuki, even though he was very big, very heavy, but he was getting churned, right? He was also the rope, it's not an easy thing. So when they started churning, then the rod was going down, and they didn't know like what to do. Then Lord appeared as a kurma, big tortoise, and he went inside the sea and gave the Mandara mountain shelter on his back. And then they were easily easily churning the ocean. So this is another incarnation of Lord. And Lord himself was present in the demigods as Ajita, and he was also churning. So when the churning started, the demigods were first capturing the hood, the face of the mouth part of the snake, and the demons, they were asked to take the tail, but the demon didn't like it. They shall know, in Shastra it is said that if you are very high in knowledge, you never should take a tail. It's very inauspicious. You should take head, and you should always in the shelter of head. So we will take head. Even the Lord told, okay, I will take head. Actually, he has started chanting from head. Then, so this is Srila Prabhupada commented that this is the demoniac nature. Even Lord does something, he instructs something. The demon will always say opposite. Even it is for good, they are good eventually, but he will know, this is crashing my ego. I have to go in the opposite direction. Demoniac nature. So the demigods, as soon as Lord told, okay, we'll take tail, demigods followed him. And the demons, they took the face side, and after some time when the churning started and Vasuki got also little churned, he started vomiting all the poison like fire. And all the demons were afflicted by that poison very much. Even though the demigods were getting also some fume of poisons, but by Lord's mercy, he arranged the bridge in such a way and drizzling that their misery, their suffering got away very soon. the demons are getting afflicted, on a continuous basis. Anyways, so the second incarnation is like first incarnation is Ajita, and then second is Kurma, and then on the top of the hill, to top of the Mandara mountain, he also have another incarnation as Lord Vishnu. He was holding it together so that it doesn't go away, like it keeps his pivot in the same place. So he took another, and he was making that connection in between the universe, like all the whole universe and that mountain. Like it was so strong, like a string. He was just he kept it there. So they started churning, and after some time they got fatigued. They were very tired, and at that time actually Lord infused in those people who are churning as different gunas. Like he, inside the demigods, he infused as the Sattva guna, mood of goodness. Inside the demons, he infused as Rajaguna, mood of passion. And inside the Vasukina, he infused as mood of ignorance. Now, what happened to Vasuki? So Srila Prabhupada is telling, when he started vomiting, he was completely, he was almost on the verge of getting killed, because it was so vehement and so strong thing. But if somebody is in mood of ignorance or intoxicated or unconscious, he doesn't have any control over him. He cannot say okay, I don't want to do it, I give up. No, he will just give up. He will tell, okay, do whatever you want me to do. So he infused as mood of ignorance inside the Bhashiki, and then the demons and demigods, they were using it or abusing him like anything. And demons, they were mood of passion. Okay, I want to achieve it. I will be, full of longevity, full of, opulence. If I once get Amrit, nobody can defeat me. I will be ever existent. Yeah, something like that. And for the demigods, mood of goodness, because they are in the back of their consciousness is Lord has instructed us to do it. We are not doing it for our own sense gratification. Lord told us, get the nectar, get it by churning the ocean of milk. So their consciousness was directed toward Lord. Even though they have some material motive, but it is also upon the instruction of the Supreme Lord. That's why their consciousness was in Satyagun. So Lord, incarnated as different modes of nature inside different personalities in this pastime also. And then, after chanting some time, halahal came up. The Kalkuta Vish, the poison. And everybody in the universe was disturbed. They were thinking what will happen? The whole universe will be gone. And Lord told, I will arrange. Before he told, I will arrange the things in such a way that it will be, neutralized, or its effect won't hurt you. So Lord told, let us take the shelter of Lord Shiva, and he can help us in this regard. Even though Lord himself, Lord Vishnu, was capable to take care of this thing, but he wanted to glorify Lord Shiva, his compassionate nature, his, being the powerful Vaishnava, how he can, counteract all the contamination of the whole universe. This is the pure contamination, concentrated poison, by just only fume only kill any living entities. So powerful. So he approached him. And Lord Shiva, he was glorified very, in a well manner. If you read that chapter where Lord Shiva was glorified, he actually is compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In fact, Srila Prabhupada is telling that in some of the glorification, Lord Shiva is also considered as Lord Vishnu. Because some of the aspects of Lord Vishnu is done by Lord Shiva also. And Sadasiva, he is very powerful. He is also incarnation of Lord Vishnu, but he comes into touch of material nature, right? The difference between Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva is that Lord Vishnu never comes in that, under the jurisdiction of this material nature. He is always in Suddha Sattva. But when he has to procreate the universe, he has to come to in touch with the material nature, and then he takes the form of Sadasiva. And through him he creates all the ingredients, and he starts spreading this universe. Anyways, then Lord Shiva was glorified, and Lord Shiva, being compassionate toward all the living entities and demigods, he told Madhasati that I have to, help them. like you allow me to do it. And Mother Sati was happy, and Lord Shiva just, concentrated all the poisons in his palm, and he just drank it. And he kept it in his neck. He did not swallow it. He kept it in his neck, and it became an abhushan for him. His neck became black. That's why we know him as Nilkantha. Right? Nilkantha, very beautiful name. And some of the poison is spilled while he was drinking, and some of the snakes, scorpions, jackals, they drank it, and they became also poisonous. So we know now, right, why the snakes are very poisonous, right? From this pastime. They just drank it, and they became also very powerful. I don't know why they were not killed. So maybe Lord's desire that he wanted them to be like that. Anyways, so after that, then after the they started again churning with like a full vigor, and then Kamdhenu came out of it. And then saints they told, like, we perform yagya, we need Kamdhenu for ghee. Then Uchasreva came out, Bali Maharaj took it. It was a beautiful horse. His bodily he was like full moon, beautiful white. And then Airavata came. Then it was also a white elephant. And then other 8 elephants came, 8 she-elephants came. Then Kaustava Mani and Padmaraga Mani came. Lord Vishnu took it and he told, like, it will just adorn my chest. Like, actually, other way around. The Padmaraga Mani and Kaustava Muni will be adorned or will be beautified when Lord will wear it, right? Yeah, Krishna is the Abhushan of the Abhushanam, something like that, right? That is a verse. Kaustava, Padmarag. Yeah. Yeah, it said like Lord took both of them, yeah. Anyways, and then, Mother Lakshmi came. And then we already discussed, he was looking at different personalities, and he eventually got married to Lord Vishnu at that time in Sayambara. And that's why, that the ocean is in-law of Lord Jagannath. Because Mother Lakshmi appeared from that ocean, right? That's why. Okay. So, then after a while, the Dhanvantari came, which is another plenary, like Kala. Kala means like plenary portion of the plenary portion of the Lord. Amsha is like direct plenary portion, and Kala is like plenary portion of the plenary portion of the Lord. Etech Amsha Kala Amsha Krishnastu Bhagavanam Sayam. So he came, he was very stout, his bodily he was, dark. He had nice tilak mark. His neck were like, 3 marks were, lines were there. And he was carrying a full pot nectar. It was like full to the brink. And then he was very beautiful. And as soon as he came, everybody, left that churning, and then demons approached him quickly and grabbed the pot of the nectar from him. And as soon as they got nectar, demigods knew that they don't have power to fight with them. So they approached the Lord. They told, like, Lord, what will we do now? Because the demons are already taking the nectar, and they will all drink it, and we will be doomed eternally. Then Lord told, don't worry, I will take care of it. I will bewilder these demons. They will fight amongst themselves, and nobody could drink it. And I will make sure all of you get the nectar. I will take a form of Mohini Murti to bewilder them in a very in further manner. Like when they want to drink it, I will make you drink instead of them. Anyways, so that pastime, the churning of the mission, ocean of milk ends. So there are a lot of things to be learned here. First is like why Amrit? Why Lord emphasized so much on Amrit? What are the qualities Amrit has, like nectar? Want to say anything? Take the mic, please.
The only thing that I know is it can rejuvenate you from death.
Exactly, it's very powerful. Yeah, it can give you life, and
that's all I know.
You're very difficult to kill. In fact, it says like your lifespan will be almost like that's whole Like how much? One manyantar, right? That is the lifespan one gets by drinking nectar, something like that. Yeah, he cannot be killed. It's like almost eternal. So this one thing is like it has the effect of longevity. It can give you long life. The second thing is like it is very sweet, tasty. So when you drink something, when you taste something, pibate bhagavate rasamalyam, what is that? Sukhamukha amrita drava samyutam. Amrita drava samyutam. So amrit comes here and there when you experience relish something very, very sweet, very juicy, very tasty. It is only compared to amrit. So it has that quality also to give you highest, relishing pleasure. Then third thing is like it rejuvenates, it gives you energy. When you drink something like you are fatigued, you worked hard, and you drink something very powerful, you feel like, okay, I am now able to do anything. I am a Complan boy. Like in the advertisement, you see like Horlicks Complan, they are like, giving you energy instantly. So Amrit has that power, it can give you energy immediately. And we see that, after taking Amrit, the demigods are very powerful. They actually immediately, fought with demons and they defeated them. Anyways, so these three aspects, and all three aspects are present in Harinam. That's why Harinam is compared to Harinamamrit. In fact, Harinamamrit is so tasty, so powerful, so rejuvenating that it can give you anything you desire. Like even though we should not approach, for any material benefit, but Harinam, like Sarvabhauma Prabhu was telling, like even somebody is doing Harinam with offense, he will be given a lot of opulence. Like we should not desire for that. Our goal only is to get love of Krishna, that, or serving Srimati Radharani in her service to Krishna, or all the acharyas in their services to Krishna. That should be our goal, and that is the highest nectar. And one person who experiences that, he never, looks for anything else. Yeah, you wanted to say something, please, Bo. So now you can say, like, you can bring in those topics in discussion. I thought like. So another thing is like, this ocean of churning of ocean. The first thing came out of churn is halahal, the poison. So when you will start doing Harinam, what first thing you will experience? Yeah, exactly. You will see a lot of alertness inside you. You cannot concentrate. Harinam will not reciprocate. You can see that, right?
Someone asked question, not to me, someone else. I was only overhearing. So sometimes when we chant, why we feel very bad? Sometimes we feel very bad. You don't feel like chanting. All bad thoughts will come, things like that. So the response given was, say you entered a very dusty room. You start cleaning. Initially, all dust will come out only.
Yes.
So
the thing is that when our heart was closed completely, right? Cheta darpana marjanam, our darpan, that our heart, which is compared as a mirror, it was full of dust. So Krishna, basati, like Krishna resides only in the soft place. So full of dust, full of unclean, contaminated and unclean things. Now our heart is. So how Krishna can reside? Harinam is Krishna himself. How Harinam will reside in our heart? It cannot reach our heart. It will just hum in our mind. At most, we can engage our mind. That is the most thing we can. But going into heart, it's very difficult, that feeling. Because when you chant purely, you cannot stop chanting. And Harinam will reveal all the things, like all its qualities inside you. You will see Krishna's pastimes. You will experience all the existing symptoms. We see like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, every second there is a mention, every other paragraph or every other pastime there is mention of ecstatic symptom. Because they are pure devotees and they are experiencing it all the time. So when there is any mention of Harinam, there is mention of ecstatic symptom along with it, naturally. But in our case, we have closed our heart for so long, and it is full of contamination, full of all kind of desire of material worldly happiness, And now Harinam, as soon as Harinam enters here or tries to enter here, it doesn't find any place. It's not clean. Then all the dust starts coming out, and we sometimes feel very morose. We don't feel we don't have a passion, or we don't have any utsaha. Utsaha means like inspiration to do it further, and some people give it up. Like Keshavananda Prabhu was just telling, after 10 years, even some initiated devotees, they don't chant. I don't know in person that much, but yeah, they feel less interested in chanting. Like that, the passion when you initially starts, you feel like, I am not able to clean my, clean my heart. I will not be able to chant.
You have to be more sarcastic, and
yeah.
We can say that before initiation we show all interest. After initiation it's like finished, Yeah, you take it for granted.
Yeah, sometimes it happens, like your determination gets, like you will not be as determined, your determination will be flickering. So that's why, how we can do it, how we can keep our utsaha, nishchay, determination, and dharyat, patience, only by the association of pure devotees. Because they will give you faith. Through their association, you can experience something is there. Even I am not getting it, something is there. And they will inspire through their own personal contact, through their teachings, through their preaching. Every time they will inspire you to this chant of the Harinam. Because all the services we do in our temple, outside preaching, everything is meant for pure chanting. That is our ultimate goal. If we cannot aspire for that, then all other services we are doing, it's not much meaningful. It's not meaningful. Our goal should be to chant the pure Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That should be our goal. So here it is said, one should not be disheartened when that's all anarthas come. Because anartha nivritti can take a lifetime to get rid of. Actually, a lifetime is less. It can take several lifetimes, but we should not be disheartened. We should have always complete faith in Krishna's words. When Mukunda Datta was told that, you can get darshan of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, after 10 millions of lifetime, koti janma pore hai, abar dekha papore. He was not disheartened. He told, okay. He started ecstatically dancing, that I will get his darshan. We should be also in that mood. We should have that complete faith that eventually we will get it. Maybe not this lifetime. So once you get Krishna, you don't have to look back. And the devotees association will make sure of that. And second thing, which is more harmful than this, anartha nivritti, is the complacency. Sometimes we get through Harinam, all the things starts getting fixed. Like job life is going good, I am feeling bliss. My wife is doing good behavior with me. Children are also behaving very nicely. They are doing very good in school. We felt okay. And now I got everything. What is there for Harinam? What I can achieve else? So devotees become complacent also. We saw that also. Like some devotees, they feel like, okay, there is nothing to achieve. Yes.
And when Harinam becomes like background music actually.
Yes.
So you go to Kirtan, you do all prajalp and talk about other things.
Yes.
Oh, we are talking with devotees, right? But Harinam is like background music.
Background, yeah. It's just, going on, but it's not touching your heart. You are not feeling any ecstasy. You are not feeling any connection. There, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, কবে হবে বলো সেদিনও আমার অপরাধ ঘুচি শুদ্ধ নামে রুচি কৃপা বলে হবে হৃদয়ে সঞ্চার. When that day will come, when all the offenses will go away, and I will feel taste for pure Harinam, because the taste of pure Harinam is like nectar. Actually, it's more than nectar. Nectar, what can do? It can give you maybe one Manantara's lifetime, but Harinam give you eternal lifetime in the association of Lord and His devotees, right? And it has the taste is so much. So, Srila Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Instruction, he said, the taste of Harinam cannot be experienced by a person whose tongue is afflicted by jaundice. He cannot appreciate the sugar candy. He will just eat it, but he has gone, his taste is so deteriorated that he cannot appreciate it. So we need to get out of the jaundice condition, and then ultimately Harinam taste of Harinam will reach ruchisthatha nishtas, right? Ruchi. It will create the ruchi. And then ultimately Harinam will give us the energy to chant more. So initially you chant, then you chant with offense, but sometimes with offense chanting, we keep committing offense at the lotus feet of Harinam, and we lost the complete taste. So we should actually minimize the offense as much as we can. And among the offenses, the one offense, like Lord never forgives Vaisheshika Prabhu. His grace, Vaisheshika Prabhu was telling that committing sinful activities on the strength of Harinam. If you do that, you have to suffer. Other offenses you may not have to suffer. Even if you commit offenses to a Vaishnava, he is so compassionate. If you just grasp his lotus feet and ask for forgiveness, he will forgive you. But if you think like, okay, I'm chanting Harinam and I can do whatever I like, whatever my heart desires for sense gratification, you have to suffer for that. So we should be very careful in that. And then so Harinam gives you longevity in the means like you can get eternal abode. So we should always think, how we can keep ourselves or make our heart clean and take shelter of the holy name and request him to stay in our heart so that we can do our service properly to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because all the services we do, unless Harinam is purified, those services also are not perfect. Harinam is purified means you have a direct connection with Krishna always. When you chant Krishna, you should feel presence of Krishna. What is that? That was Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Punna Siddhya, Nitya Mukta, Abheda Namna Namani. Abhinyatyam Nama Namani. So there is no difference between Krishna and his form and his name. So we should appreciate. Padma Purana, Prabhu is. I think in Nectar of Devotion also this verse comes, right? Maybe Rupa Goswami quoted it from Padma Purana. Anyways, and we should always keep in mind like Utsahat Naisya Dharyat. We should always have complete faith in the teachings of the Acharyas. They have experienced it. Definitely we will also experience it. If we are sincere, we have a mood of service to the Acharyas, to the Sampradaya, and faithful to them. Like sometimes I see like, in fact Mukunda, Lord Chaitanya was telling like he associates with his devotees, these devotees, pure devotees, listens about Krishna, and then he goes to the Brahmavadis and he listens to their commentary also. He is not a pure in heart. Sometimes we also can feel pleasure of hearing some katha, something which are not in teachings of our line of acharyas. They have not taught something like that. We feel we can get some sense gratification out of it, but it will not strengthen our faith. It never. Only when you hear from devotees of your sampradaya, your guru, the acharya, then it actually makes a strong foundation in our devotional life. Otherwise not. So now we will take some reflection. Actually, I wanted to talk about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but I think it's not possible now. No, you speak something. Anything you want to share today? Whatever you heard. Anyone? Oh, you can also tell.
Prabhuji, I really liked how, connecting churning of milk ocean, like we can, that impurities which are coming out like impurities of our heart.
Yes.
And initially it will be very, very difficult, but in the end it is like Amrit.
Yes.
That was a very nice point.
Great, thank you. It's in Bhagavad Gita also, right? 17th chapter it is said, mood of goodness is initially like poison, but ultimately it is nectar. But it is actually, Shuddha Satya is like beyond mood of goodness. So, we should always think there is something higher, what we are not able to taste at this jaundiced condition. But we should keep that faith inside. That faith is something that is so strong. You can achieve everything through your faith. So whenever we chant, we don't have actually faith. That's why we don't put attention that, we are chanting the name of holy name Krishna and Krishna is present in the holy name. We don't have that faith. That's why we don't feel the presence. As soon as we have come to that, we can come to that platform where we have complete faith in the presence of Krishna in the holy name, then holy name will start reciprocating immediately. Like, you see that, no knowledge, like we are discussing that, right? Knowledge or any external quality can capture Krishna, but through pure devotional service, you can capture him, and holy name is the form of pure devotional service. And also, few weeks ago, we had a series of lectures about the 5 major aspects of devotional service, like that sadhu sangha, nama kirtan, bhagavat shravan, matra, vashimurtayara, shraddhaya shravan, like 5 aspects, like associating devotee, chanting of the holy name, reading Bhagavatam, living in a holy place, and deity worship. So there also it came, Srila Vaisheshika Prabhu was telling that among these 5, chanting is higher, because all of those other 5 are not as potent as chanting in this age of Kali. You don't have that purity. So when one chants, in a purified state, those things also, as I was discussing, like all other services come into place nicely. They are like in proper mood and proper motivation, understanding you can do. Is it? Say something, Babu. Just, we have only 4 devotees. I should have engaged you more in the class, but...
I liked your point, Prabhuji, when you explained how what is Amrita. It has 3 qualities. It gives longevity, it gives it's very tasty, and also it gives rejuvenation.
Mm-hmm.
And then you explained but the holy name is even greater Amrita, because Amrita can only give life of one manvantara, but holy name gives eternal life in association with Krishna. And so that analysis was very nice.
Yes,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, so we should actually appreciate that quality of Amrita in Harinam, right? Panacea of every kind of cure. That's why some devotees, they tell, whenever we used to ask a question to the Bhagavatam lecturer in initial stage, they used to say, okay, this is your problem, chant Harinam, chant Harinam, chant Harinam. That is true. Harinam is the panacea for everything. If you chant Harinam, everything will get cured. One of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's very renowned disciples was Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. Have you heard, any of you? He was very, very powerful devotee. Srila Prabhupada was very much in friendship with him. And they used to talk, laugh, cry, everything they used to do together in Vrindavan Dham. Anyway, so when he joined the temple in Dhaka, he was a student of Dhaka College. At that time, he was Dhaka College is still, till today, it's one of the topmost college in our country, Bangladesh. I'm from Bangladesh, by the way. So, he started his brahmachari life in the Dhaka temple, and he was chanting all day long. So in Gaudiya Math at that time, for brahmachari, 64 rounds were mandatory. They used to chant 64 rounds a day. So he was chanting more than that. He was chanting all day long. And then some brahmacharis, they put an objection in front of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They told he's not doing any service. He's just chanting all day long. We should engage him in some services, because the temple needs brahmacharis to do some services, otherwise it's very difficult to maintain. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, no, let him chant. His chanting is very good. So if somebody is chanting, that is very great service, because it pleases Krishna, and Krishna puts attention unto those devotees, and when he is in the attention, the whole thing, temple, then the community, then the country comes into attention of Krishna. What Krishna has to do with this USA? But when the pure devotees are chanting here, he puts his energy, he puts attention here, and along with it, mercy comes along. So all the living entities gets benefit out of it. So if somebody is purely chanting, like Bashirika, his Prabhu was telling, we should not take these natural things, like the things we get from the nature, for granted. Somebody is doing some austerity, somebody is doing some pious activity. By his grace, Krishna is providing us with these opulences. We may not see him, but there is someone who has done or who is doing it at this current moment. So we should always appreciate the natural things we get from the Mother Nature. And that's how Krishna will also be happy, because we are appreciating his energy. Jagannath Prabhu is here?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a very engaging discussion and the class. I mean, all these the attributes of the Lord that you brought are very interesting, and you indulge with all your fortune that you have, material senses, internal senses, whatever you got.
Yes.
But it keeps us wondering also that I was just basically thinking when you brought up the churning of the milk ocean. And the question that was just passing my mind is that is there a state where every entity is perfect? Does that ever happen? Or the good and bad, or the demoniac and the devas, they always exist like this, and it's kind of a continuum, and you can exist on either end. And the other thing that always comes to the mind is that though both sides of the creations basically are belonging to the Supreme, at points you will feel that it's he's partial towards one side, like that also just crosses the mind. But then if you go deeper, then yes, answers to those questions exist.
Yes.
And then it comes back to the thing that whether so that question still sometimes when I hear all this, that will come, that okay, it looks like continuously this thing is going on and both sides continue to exist. So being on either side is not actually controlled by the living entities, it is controlled by something higher than that.
Yes, correct.
And we perceive that okay, something is on one side or the other, but on both sides they in themselves are continuing in their activities. Everything is being controlled that way. Yes. So that it brings out the supreme controller aspect of the Lord, that excellent. Everybody thinks they can be like in passion, they can be in goodness, but both then gunas are being controlled.
They are controlled, exactly. Unless you are in Siddha Satta, you will be controlled. Thank you for bringing up those topics, Prabhu. So in short, actually what I can say, you already know the answer, so just to touch it. Yeah, the demigods and demons, the demoniac qualities and demigod divine qualities exist in this material world. In the spiritual world, everything is like in pure goodness. So the qualities are like they are also divine qualities, but more than divine. Everything is tinged with devotion, and in that platform. But in material platform, of course, there is coexistence of divine and demoniac nature, and we have to accept it. That's why we are here, right? Because we wanted to enjoy. We wanted to enjoy our senses of our own without, satisfying Krishna's senses, like Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchata. That is the pure devotional service. The second aspect, you told like Lord is partial, like how we can understand He's impartial. So if you see that, the pastimes which took place in 7th canto, where Prahlad Maharaj was a demon, but he was favored by Lord. And his father, Hiranyakashipu, he was also a demon. He was not favored by a Lord. So Supreme Personality of Lord is impartial always. Like Parikshit Maharaj was asking this question to Shukadeva Goswami, like, why Lord is partial? It seems like, he's always favoring the demigods. He's not favoring the demons. And then Shukadeva Goswami brought this topic. No, Lord is always impartial. Actually in Bhagavad Gita, na me deshi tishta, something like, Lord says like, I am not favorable to anyone, not I am, I have hatred to anyone. It's not Lord's nature. It is our nature. We have always, Birad Yukta Krodh or Abirada Priti. We have either, attachment to some object, or we have some, hatred towards it. Most of the people identify with different objects in these two relationships. Either they have kind of hatred or they have attachment. These two. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells in Upadesamrita. So that is our disposition, but not Lord's. Lord is always neutral. That's why he actually given Bali Maharaj the best among the planets in Sutala Loka, which is even more opulent than Indra Loka. And he will be the Indra in the next Manantar. So you can see that Lord is impartial. Even though he was the king of the demons, but he was given the best opportunity because he was a pure devotee. And of course he is inclined towards devotee. It's not impartiality. It's love. If you have a loving relationship with someone, you want to serve someone, you want to do some good to him, you want to reciprocate his love, you want to appreciate his love. So Lord does it by, giving them some favor. It's not not impartial. It can be anybody. It's not not necessarily it has to be a demigod, it has to be a demon or it has to be a yaksha or gandharva. Anybody can be a pure devotee and they can get Lord's favor, Lord's attention, Lord's mercy. In fact, he doesn't have to do it intentionally. All the things will come in place. Mother Lakshmi always being carried by Lord in his heart, right? So whenever Lord is present, the Lord puts his mercy, Mother Lakshmi's glance also goes. So all opulence, all Aishwarya, Birya, Sri, Gyan, everything comes along with it. Mother Saraswati is also eternal consort of the Supreme Lord. So she also, puts energy and, empowers that personality to flourish. And we saw it again and again, that devotees are always more qualified than, the people in demoniac nature. In every aspect, like Yashsi, Gyan, Vairagya, everything, yeah. Thank you. I think we have to stop the class now. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, all the devotees who joined online, thanks all of you. Thanks for enduring me. Yeah, Hari Bol. Dhanat Pranam to all of you. Vancha kalpatarubhascha, kepa sindhu bhaya vacha, patitanam